What is happening, people? It is your boy Jack. Today we are back with another video, and today we're going to be speaking about a different kind of stock than we normally do. If you follow along on the channel, you'll know that I am primarily a long-term dividend investor. They're the kind of stocks I like to get into. The massive, well-established ones who have a history of paying dividends. These companies are deemed to be some of the safest in the world. They may not have the greatest growth potential. We don't expect them to grow, 50% every single year, but they're safe and historically have given good returns. But today we're going to go full circle, baby, and we're going to speak about the high risk, high reward stocks, the ones who have been hit 70-80+% the last month and a half or two, the stocks that have the potential to go to the moon if they can avoid bankruptcy. So we have a good few sectors to cover today, a lot of different companies, and before we get to the very first one, I'm going to ask you, please smash that like button for me. It helps me out massively, helps the channel grow. Subscribe and hit that bell button if you're new around here, and drop me a comment with any of your thoughts on any of these companies. But anyway, guys, let's just get straight to it. Sector number one. So the very first sector, you don't get any bonus points for guessing I was going to speak about this one, is cruise line stocks. Specifically, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, who we've spoken about an awful lot on the channel, and Norwegian Cruise. First of all, we're having a look at Carnival. We all know they were above $50 at one stage not too long ago. They've fallen below $8 twice now. They're currently sitting at $12.86, up 12% at market open. And there's a fairly similar story for also Royal Caribbean Cruises. They were up really high around the $130 mark, dropped all the way down to about $22. Again, this happened more or less twice, and it's currently sitting at $38.26, up nearly 15% within 45 minutes of market open. And then Norwegian Cruise Line, we can see very similar to Carnival. They were up close to $60. They fell to $8.23, 8 something again, and now they're sitting at $12.76, up 12.3% today. It's now weird to see these stocks not move 10 to 20% a day. This is normal market activity for cruise line stocks, which is absolutely mental. If that happened with pretty much any other stock, any well-established stock out there, people would be going crazy. You don't have to be a genius to figure out why they've been hit so hard. It's obviously because of the virus. All of the cruises are docked for the foreseeable future. They're bringing in zero income. They still have lots of expenses. They have no customers. They have to give out refunds. It's a bad time, and that is reflected in the current stock prices. People understand that any one of these companies has the chance to go bankrupt, and that is why people are selling their stocks. But on the other hand, the optimists understand that if these companies don't go bankrupt, there is so much growth potential here. There is 100% worth of growth potential in a matter of a few years in these companies. $8 is a very relevant price point when it comes to Carnival. A lot of people got in around the $8 mark only a few days ago, and it's already up to nearly $13. It's already up well over 50% in a matter of a few days. Now, don't get excited, because as I said, 10 to 20% days right now are the normal. And right now, we've had a good few days, we've had a good run, it's going up, but there is nothing suggesting that the bad times are over. It could just as easily go back down tomorrow. And if you want more information on Carnival and cruise lines as a whole, check the description. I'll have videos linked to a few videos I've done on Carnival specifically. I've spoken about these guys a lot. These companies won't be bringing in any money for at least a couple of months. Now, Carnival, I know for a fact, has enough money to last about 8 to 10 months. I don't know too much, honestly, about the other two because I haven't looked into them as much. But assuming they're somewhere around the same, these people need to be sailing relatively soon, or else bankruptcy is absolutely inevitable. With all the stocks I speak about today, tread very lightly. They're all high risk. They're all going to be really volatile. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a random guy on the internet. Always do your own research. Now, next up, airlines. So in a very similar place to cruise lines. Potentially not quite as bad though. I'm looking at Delta right now, again, a company we've spoke about a lot on the channel. I hold a position in them. I'm happy to see they're up 7.6%. But again, this is just another day for any airline stock right now. To see these jumps or these downs is completely normal, and we can't be too happy about it because we know that just around the corner, more than likely, there is more red. American Airlines here, the same picture, nearly up the exact same amount as Delta. Having a quick look at Delta, we can see that they were around $62 a share at one point. They went down as low as about $21 a share, so they went down in value nearly about 70%. These airlines aren't running commercial flights. People aren't flying. People aren't even leaving their houses, never mind leaving the country. The four biggest ones people generally speak about are Delta, American Airlines, United Airlines, and Southwest Airlines. And if you look into them, they're all in very similar situations right now. If you invest in any one of them on a given day, they're going to go up or down the same as the other three. So the reason I chose Delta over anybody else was just because they're the biggest. They have the most revenue, the most profit, the most assets. They're pretty much tied first with American Airlines for passengers carried. It's nearly the exact same. I can see a world where nearly all of the cruise lines go bankrupt. I really can see that world. It's very realistic. But airlines, people are going to need their planes. People need planes. And the big players, the Delta Airlines, the American Airlines, they're not going to go bankrupt. They're going to get survived. The government is helping them out with bailouts. They're going to get through this. And that's why it is high risk, high reward, because there always is the chance they'll go bankrupt. But for me, I love these. I love being in Delta right now, and I genuinely think they're going to be one of my best stocks in the long term. So the likes of American Airlines, of Delta, of Carnival, of Royal Caribbean, they've all paid quite nice dividends for the last kind of 5 to 15 years, okay? When times were good, they started rewarding their investors. Right now, dividends are gone, and if they're not gone yet, they will be, almost indefinitely. American Airlines Group, a dividend safety of 33. They've only been paying dividends for 5 years. They haven't grown it whatsoever. That's gone. It's 100% gone. Carnival's most recent dividend, which has been cancelled now, was the 13th of March, and it was at 15.49%. So these companies have massive potential, not only for growth, but for massive dividends if you hold on to them in the long term. So next we're going to speak about biotech stocks, and particularly some of the smaller ones who are investigating, trying to come up with a cure for the virus. Obviously, if a company comes up with a cure for the virus, their stock is going to go through the roof, and people become speculative. They follow the news. As soon as they see a company has the slightest inkling of potentially finding this cure, they buy. US stock market top gainers: pharmacy, biotherapeutics, pharmacy. Three of the biggest. Look at this, a 235.82% change. The market's not even been open an hour. So I've no idea who these guys are, but I can only assume that if I went and looked into the news, they're coming up with some sort of a cure for the virus. Just look at this. It's been 60, 50, whatever cents forever, and then boom, it goes up. It's currently at 170% up in an hour. These personally are something that I will not be touching off, because just as quickly as they go up, they can come crashing back down. It's completely speculative, and if the news does not go the way people want it, that money is just gone. Forget about it. But if you want the highest risk and highest reward, putting all of your money on green at the casino, these are the stocks you want to be looking at. But you have to know the news before it comes out, because as soon as it's well-known news, it's done. Everybody knows about it. The stock's obviously going to go up or down. So it's very hard to actually find out about these stocks while they're still at a good price. And the last sector we're going to cover today are casino stocks. Casino / entertainment / hotels, all of that kind of stuff. And the main two being Wynn Resorts and MGM Resorts. Wynn Resorts, we can see, had a stage where it was above $150 a share. It fell all the way down to $43 a share and is already back up to $77.22 a share. So again, it's a really high risk, high reward, so it sees massive changes on a daily basis. MGM Resorts was sitting at $33, dropped all the way down to about $7 and is currently sitting almost up over 100% at $14.54. So again, these companies are just absolutely crazy to be in. Let's just reiterate the point again. These are not safe companies. These are definitely not companies I think you need in your portfolio. These are the really, really high risk, high reward ones. And always remember that the high reward is optional. The high risk is definite. But obviously these guys are absolutely hammered. They're not bringing in any money whatsoever. They're all completely closed down. Who knows when they'll be making money again. People aren't going to be going to casinos. They're not going to be going to hotels as much. People aren't going to have as much money to spend. But again, once they do, if they recover, ultimately people will go back to these places. People will, need time for themselves. They'll need their entertainment, and these businesses will flourish again. I'd probably rank these just below airlines in order of safety. I think the biotech is obviously the highest risk, then the cruise lines, then the hotels and casinos, and then the airlines. So guys, that will be it for today. So a quick recap. These stocks are by no means safe, and I'm definitely not recommending you to go pick any single one of these. Always do your own research and always decide what investments you're going to make by yourself, not by me or anybody else on the internet. Always do your own research. Me and 99% of the guys speaking about these things aren't financial advisors, and even if we were, you're not paying us for personalized advice. For me personally, the only one of these companies I'm in is Delta. I plan on getting into Carnival, and I don't really plan on getting into any of the other stocks I covered in this video. They are, however, all on my watch list, and I will keep a close eye on all of them, and if I feel like it's going to be a good investment, I will of course make it. But just keep in mind, it'll be an overall relatively small position in my portfolio as a whole. Most of my money goes into the blue chip stocks, the massive stocks, the safer stocks. But I am really interested to know what high risk stocks you guys are in or keeping an eye on, so please let me know in the comments down below. I always love interacting with you guys, and hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please drop the video a like. If you have not just yet, subscribe so that you're here for all of the future videos. I appreciate all of the support as of late so much. But anyway guys, I'm going to leave this here. Until the next one, peace.